touched her land. Something beneath the soil is waking up. Something is calling them from the water, and they are running in fear. They came back, but something is wrong.
Held him!
Your child will not die. He will become something else.
No, Chinedo!
It does not take life, it changes it.
Every step, every whisper, every secret, it hears you, it teaches you.
And once it knows you, it never lets you go.
They touched her land. They used my child's sacrifice. Do you know what you've done? No. Do you know what you've just awakened? In the heart of Umudi, the trees do not grow straight. They lean. They bend. Like something is pushing them away from the earth itself. As if the ground beneath them is breathing. And whatever breathes there is not meant for the living. People who pass through Umudi always say the same thing. It feels like something is watching me. But the villagers know the truth. It is not watching. It is listening. Because in Umudi, the ground remembers every step, every whisper, every secret. And some secrets do not stay buried, especially after sunset. Because once the sun goes down, names become dangerous. Not all names, but some. The kind of names you do not say twice. The kind that echo back, even when no one is there. Mama Ifunanya. Mama Bisi. Those were not just names. They were warnings. Long before the wealth, before the fear, before the sacrifices, there was a rule. A simple one. If you hear your name called from the forest at night, do not answer. Even if it sounds like someone you love. Even if it sounds like your own voice. Because the moment you respond, something else learns how to sound like you. And that is how it begins. But this story did not begin with fear. It began with hunger. 100 years ago, a man crawled into Umudi. Not walking, not standing, crawling. His skin cracked from dryness, his lips torn, his eyes begging for one thing: water. Just water. He dragged himself toward the stream, the only source of life in that land. But what he found was not water. At first, it looked normal. Still, quiet, reflecting the sky. But then, it moved. Not with the wind, not with current, but like something underneath it. Shifted. Slowly. Watching him. Waiting. The man hesitated. Just for a second. Because deep inside him, something whispered, do not drink this. But hunger is louder than warning. So he drank. And that was the first mistake. Because nothing happened. Not immediately. He did not choke. He did not fall. He did not die. Instead, he smiled. A slow, empty smile. Like something inside him had just been fed. By nightfall, his reflection disappeared. By morning, his shadow no longer followed him. And by the third day, he stopped being a man. But he did not disappear. No. He stayed. And he began to teach. Not with books, Not with words, but with results. Wealth. Instant. Endless. Unexplainable. Gold that did not come from the earth. Money that did not come from work. The villagers asked him how. And he gave them one answer. Everything has a price. At first, they laughed. Then one man tried. He brought a chicken. Sacred blood. Nothing happened. Then another brought a goat. Still nothing. Then someone asked the wrong question. What kind of sacrifice does it want? The man smiled again. That same empty smile. And said something no one forgot. Something that can feel loss. That was when fear began. Because animals do not understand loss the way humans do. And that was when the village stepped back. All of them. Except two. Two women. Who were watching. Learning. Waiting. Mama Ifunanya. Mama Bisi. But they were not powerful yet. Not then. Then. They were just mothers. Struggling. Suffering. Watching life pass them by. Ifunanya had a son. Chinedu. Sick often. Weak. Always on the edge of death. Mama Bisi had turned. Strong. Full of life. But hungry. Hungry for a future that never seemed to come. They both wanted the same thing. A better life. And desperation has a way of making the impossible sound reasonable. One night, they met at the stream. No words at first. Just silence. The kind of silence that means something is about to go wrong. Then Ifunanya spoke. What if it's true? Mama Bisi didn't answer immediately. She just looked at the water. Because it was not reflecting them. Not clearly. Not normally. Their faces looked delayed. Like something else was trying to copy them. Then Bisi said quietly. What if it's not? That should have been the end. But instead, it became the beginning. 7 days later, they were gone. No footprints. No signs. Doors locked. Food untouched. Children left behind. That was the first sign something was wrong. Because no mother leaves her child willingly. Unless something has already taken her. The village searched. Nothing. The forest remained silent. Too silent. Even the insects stopped making noise. On the fourth night, something strange happened. People began to hear sounds. Not loud. Not clear. But familiar. A mother calling her child. A child crying for help. A voice asking for water. But every time someone followed the sound, it moved. Deeper. Further. Until they stopped. Because everyone knew the rule. Do not answer. Do not follow. Do not listen. But something else happened that night. The stream changed. Its surface began to ripple. Without wind. And something rose from it. Not fully. Just enough to be seen. A shape. Watching. Waiting. Counting. On the seventh night, the wind returned. Violently. Doors slammed. Dogs howled. Babies cried without reason. And somewhere in the forest, something screamed. Not human. Not animal. Something in between. Then silence. Heavy silence. The kind that presses against your chest. And on the 8th morning, they came back. walking slowly, calmly, smiling. But something was wrong. Very wrong. Their feet were not touching the ground properly, just slightly above it, like the earth itself did not want them anymore. People ran. Some hid. Some watched. Because curiosity is stronger than fear. Until it is too late. They carried bags. Heavy ones. But when they dropped them, no sound came out. As if what was inside was not entirely physical. When the bags opened, the village forgot fear. Money, gold, jewelry, more than anyone had ever seen. Enough to change everything. And that was exactly the problem. Because in Umudi, anything that changes everything always destroys something. Mama Ifunanya spoke first. Softly. We found it. Mama Bisi smiled wider. We earned it. No one asked how. Because deep down, everyone already knew. But no one wanted to say it. Because saying it would make it real. And from that day, nothing in Umudi was ever normal again. The wealth kept growing. Money flowed like water. Gold appeared without source. But the village began to rot.
The
Milk turned black overnight.
The oil will not
Palm
flow.
oil refused to pour.
The hearth is dead.
Firewood would not burn. Unless it was lit inside Ifunanya or Bisi's compound. Then the animals changed. Goats refused to cross certain paths. Dogs barked at empty spaces. And every night, at exactly the same time, all the birds would take flight at once. Like something unseen was moving through the village. Something they could feel, but not escape. The elders gathered. Quietly. It has started feeding, one whispered. No one prepared for how it would feed. It began on a night with no moon. Ifunanya was awake. She heard it. A sound. Soft. Faint. Coming from outside. A voice. Calling. Mama. Her body froze. Because she knew that voice. Chinidu. Her son. No, she whispered. This is not real. But the voice came again. Mama, help me. She stepped outside. Step by step. Heart pounding. Until she saw him. Standing there. At the edge of the darkness. Chinidu. Thin. Still. Looking at her. Come to me, Mama, he whispered. And that was when she noticed it. His feet were not touching the ground. His arm was too long, too thin, too unnatural. Then the voice changed. Did you forget? Forget what? And then it said it. The price. Chinidu screamed. A sound that tore through the night. Ifunanya ran forward. She grabbed him. Held him. But the moment she touched him, everything stopped. Silence. His body began to change. His skin tightened. His bones bent. She tried to let go. But she couldn't. Her hands would not release him. This is what you gave. The voice echoed. And then, it was over. In front of her, a goat stood. Quiet. Still. Watching her. Its eyes were human. Her son's eyes. Alive. Aware. Trapped. That was when she understood. This was not punishment. This was collection. And somewhere in the distance, Something laughed. Low. Satisfied. Because 3 nights later, it came again. For Mama Bisi. It started with turned. At dinner. Laughing. Eating. Until his hand froze midair. The spoon dropped. His fingers bent. Backward. Too far. Too wrong. His bones cracked. Loud. Sharp. His voice broke into a scream. Mama. His body twisted. His spine bent. His jaw stretched unnaturally. Make it stop, please. But she couldn't. Then suddenly, he went still. And for a moment, she thought it was over. But then, he smiled. Slowly. Unnaturally. And his eyes locked onto hers. You wanted more. His body collapsed. And rose again. Not as a boy, but as something else. A chimpanzee. Breathing heavily. Shaking. Eyes wide with terror. Still aware. Still him. The chimpanzee ran. Into the night. Into the forest. Climbing. Disappearing. But not gone. Never gone. From that night, the village changed completely. People stopped going out at night. Stopped calling names. Stopped answering voices. The thing in Umudi does not just take. It imitates. It learns. It becomes. And once it learns you, it does not forget. But there was still one rule holding everything together. One line that had not yet been crossed. Never touch what belongs to the other. Never take. Never interfere. Because the moment that rule is broken, the ritual will not end. It will grow. It will spread. And it will stop asking for permission. For a while, that rule held. Fear kept them in place. But fear does not kill greed. It feeds it. And Mama Bisi wanted more. More land. More power. She saw the land near the stream. Ifunanya's land. Sacred. Untouched. She stood there one evening. Thinking. Calculating. I deserve this, she whispered. She bought it. Secretly. Without permission. And the moment she stepped onto that land, everything stopped. The wind died. Sound disappeared. Beneath her feet, something moved. Slow. Heavy. Alive. Then a voice spoke. Inside her. Cold. Ancient. Final. You crossed it. The soil began to darken. Like ink spreading through sand. And something rose. Mama Bisi stepped back. But the voice followed. Rules were balance. You removed balance. And now, silence. Far away. Mama Ifunanya dropped to her knees. Because she felt it. Like something inside the world itself had been cracked. And now it was leaking. The ritual was no longer between them. It had moved past them. It had started using them. Umudi did not sleep that night. Because something new was awake. And this time, it was not waiting to be called. Years passed. The village was gone. Nature took over. But the stream remained. And so did the statues. 2 forms. Black. Still. Breathing without moving. A goat. A chimpanzee. Watching. Waiting. Learning. And then one day, footsteps returned. strangers, Sonia, encounter, content creators, looking for a viral story. But Umudi does not care about trends. It cares about recognition. The moment they entered, the air shifted. Sonia laughed nervously. This place feels off. Counter lifted his camera. That's exactly why we're here. They walked deeper until they reached the stream. And there, the statue stood. Sonia stopped. Are those real? Counter zoomed in. The camera flickered. Just once. And in that flicker, the goat blinked. Counter stepped back. Did you see that? But his voice dropped. Something was closer. A whisper came. Inside Sonia's ear. You came back. She froze. Who said that? No answer. Just breathing. Not theirs. Counter turned. The statues were gone. And in their place, shadows. Sonia's phone turned on by itself. The video opened. The stream. The women. The transformation. Mama Ifunanya. Mama Bisi. Sonia dropped the phone. No, this is fake. But the video kept playing anyway. The land was showing them. Counter whispered. We need to leave. But Sonia did not move. She was listening now. To something else. Inside her head. You touched the land. Sonia shook her head. I didn't mean to. You did. The whisper grew clearer. You always do. Her eyes changed. Just enough for Counter to notice. Sonia. She turned slowly. And smiled. But it wasn't her smile. It remembers you. Behind them. Footsteps. Slow. Unavoidable. The statues were back. Closer now. Much closer. And then Sonia said something that froze everything. It wants to continue. Counter whispered. What are you talking about? She tilted her head. And answered softly. It needs a new story. The camera dropped. But kept recording. Because something else had picked it up. And far away. Inside the dark soil of Umudi. Something finally spoke clearly. New vessels detected. The ritual was no longer in Umudi. It was in the world. If this story made you feel uncomfortable, good. Because it means something inside you is still alive. This is Behind the Scenes Unleash. Where stories don't just end. They follow you home. If you had the chance, would you trade everything for power? Comment yes or a no. Be honest. Because some choices are already watching you. And if you've been wondering how I create these dark, cinematic stories, or how you can start your own Faceless channel and earn from it, check the links in the description below. Backhand index pointing down. TestTube, and for those interested in investigation tools, learn deeper real stories. Balance scale. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases at no extra cost to you. Because some rituals don't end. They don't stay in villages. They don't stay in stories. They spread. They wait. They wait for you.